signed by the Kansas City Chiefs after that, but today the team released him following his arrest.
Here's cornerback Damon Arnette will plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges.
Part of the plea deal, the judge ordering Arnette to do community service and also to pay a fine. And
I'm really at a loss for words whenever it comes to this storyline, but it's a storyline that I've been updating you guys consistently as it's been going on. But I think this storyline has reached Antonio Brown levels to the point where this individual that had a bright future in the NFL consistently continues to destroy his life, and at a specific point, all we can do is be disappointed and take our own life lessons away from it. So before we get to the content, this video is likely to get demonetized. Seriously, lots of talk about weapons and substances and this individual doing some really stupid things. So a like and subscription goes a long way in supporting the channel. Now that we got all that out of the way, break! My Super Bowl picks that I made in my content with the Patrick Mahomes free square didn't hit, but the one that I posted onto my story did hit, and you guys let me know how much money you made in my DMs. And now that the NFL season's over, we're officially directing our attention to the NBA. I give away my picks for free at the Flight Mike on Instagram, and right now when you sign up for Prize Picks, use promo code FlightMike to get up to a $100 deposit match when you sign up on Prize Picks. Or you can just use my link in the description down below. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Look away, Las Vegas Raiders fans, because this is going to be a very tough one for you guys. The 2020 NFL draft was absolutely loaded, especially for the Las Vegas Raiders, who were in need of a wide receiver and needed some help on the defensive end. Unfortunately for the Raiders, they were loaded with 2 first-round picks. Their first coming at the number 12 overall spot, where they selected Henry Ruggs, and their second coming at the number 19 spot, which they received as a result of trading Khalil Mack. We already know what ended up happening to Henry Ruggs at number 12, but for the Raiders, they decided to shock the world at number 19 when they selected Damon Arnette. Honestly, it would have been great if they selected Justin Jefferson with the number 19 overall pick, but they're the Raiders, and I guess you could say the NFL draft is a little bit of a crapshoot. Now, Damon Arnette wasn't considered to be a first-round type of player. He was selected for his prototypical size and was viewed as a huge project coming into the NFL draft. He ran a 4.56 40-yard dash and didn't really get a lot of playing time during his time with the Las Vegas Raiders. In 2020, he played in 9 games and started in 7 and would defend 2 passes. And in 2021, he would only play in 4 games. 2021 was a very rough season for the Las Vegas Raiders, and it was just an unfortunate season all around. If you're a Raiders fan, you remember this season as being the season where John Gruden had to resign because of emails getting leaked out and the stuff that he said in those emails, Henry Ruggs deciding to ruin his life and the life of another family by ending the life of another human being by getting behind the wheel while he was intoxicated. And Damon Arnette, during this entire situation, did this.
That shit 5 minutes away. Pull up, lame ass nigga. Swear to God, I will kill nigga. On everything I love, I will kill nigga. You talking crazy.
Now, this was very shocking because Damon Arnette wasn't known as an individual that had tremendous character issues coming out of Ohio State University. He was actually seen as an honorable person and was considered to be safe in regards to his personality at the very least. And a deep dive on this particular story is the fact that Damon Arnette was apparently baited into posting this video onto his story because someone was trolling him on the internet in his DMs, which isn't an excuse at all whatsoever. Anyone that gets trolled should just know to ignore the troll and move on. But the Raiders would release him shortly after this, making Damon Arnette a free agent just 2 years into his NFL career, which is really unfortunate considering the fact that he was a first-round pick, selected with the 19th overall pick. But despite this, he still got multiple chances. Whenever a first-round pick becomes a free agent within 2 years, other teams are going to be happy to claim him. And in the case of Damon Arnette, he signed with the Miami Dolphins a year later. Now, his contract would expire on January 9th, 2022, but he would sign a futures contract with the Kansas City Chiefs on January 20th, 2022, which is a significant opportunity given the fact that Andy Reid has a remarkable reputation whenever it comes to taking chances on troubled talent and trying to get the best out of them. I mean, take a look at what he did with Michael Vick or Tyreek Hill. And whenever Andy Reid gives up on you, that's typically a telling sign. In the case of Damon Arnette, Andy Reid had to give up on him 9 days later because Damon Arnette would get arrested on charges of assault with a deadly weapon, carrying a concealed weapon without a permit, and 2 counts of possession of controlled substances in Las Vegas. Apparently, Damon Arnette threatened a valet for not giving him his car when Damon Arnette didn't have the card to claim his vehicle. And as a result, he decided to pull a weapon on him, which is one of the dumbest things I think I've ever heard. In addition to this, the valet worker told the police that he heard a gun cock and he looked up to see Arnette pointing a gun at him and demanding the keys to the car. Police said that surveillance footage from the casino showed that Arnette took a handgun that was concealed from his pants and placed it in the driver's side interior door. Authorities added that it appears that Arnette gets irritated and starts yelling at the attendant. Arnette then appears to reach down and charge his pistol using both hands. So that's how Arnette ruined his life once again. 9 days later, the Chiefs decided to release him, and he's been out of the NFL ever since. And since then, we would get weird updates in regards to Damon Arnette's life, and you would even get to see some of this in 4K. The last time we talked about Damon Arnette, he was getting arrested for driving on a suspended license and possession of, once again, substances. Arnette would even try to lie in this police body cam footage.
You knew your fucking license was suspended. Give me a break. You're good.
I got practice in the morning.
And I love whenever football players or any type of individual that's an athlete tries to leverage the fact that they're players to get out of something.
Officer, please help me. I'm cornerback number 4 on the Las Vegas Raiders.
Which happened 3 years ago, by the way. The officer would say what you're supposed to say.
Doesn't matter, bro. Doesn't matter, bro. Doesn't matter, bro. Go to jail, bro. We can't be giving you breaks.
Which is honestly a beautiful thing to say to Damon Arnette because he keeps getting a break. And I think my favorite part of this entire exchange is when he says this.
You're a fucking idiot, bro. You had the chance. You had the chance to go home. Could have had you earlier, bro. And now you're going to jail for what? Because you're stupid. That when we can't even give people warnings without them fucking it up for themselves.
And this is ridiculous. Damon Arnette was pulled over twice in a span of 4 hours in Miami Beach, and he was warned both times that his license was expired. And when the police pulled him over for a second time, they searched his vehicle and they found a white powdery substance consistent with, well, I'll let you use your imagination. So he would get charged for possession of this substance and misdemeanor knowingly driving with a suspended license. And Arnette would enter a diversion program in an attempt to close the case. At the time, a spokesperson for the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office told the outlet that Arnette must submit to random drug testing, complete a substance abuse evaluation, report monthly, and pay fees, among other conditions of the program, adding that if Arnette complies, then prosecutors would revisit his charges. All right, spoiler alert, Arnette wouldn't comply. That's the reason we're making this video. The latest in the Damon Arnette saga is absolutely insane. So Damon Arnette would get arrested on weapon charges once again, and this time he was also arrested for another substance, probably one of the most extreme substances you could have. So according to this report, Damon Arnette was arrested in Richardson, Texas at 3:30 a.m. local time on January 6th and faces charges of unlawful carrying of a firearm and possession of less than a gram of M. NFL Media's Ian Rappaport and Clayton Holloway first reported on Monday. And I feel so bad for this man's legal team because you look like the biggest clowns on earth whenever you come out and say this statement. Our client at the time of the stop was unable to provide law enforcement with his prescription for a lawful medication. The arrest was predicated on Mr. Arnette being unable to prove the medication was prescribed. Had he been able to do so at the time of the stop, there would have been no arrest for either the controlled substance of the firearms, according to his lawyer. Our offices are working with local law enforcement to rectify this matter before any charges are brought by the district attorney's office. So pretty much what they're trying to argue is Damon Arnette didn't have meth on him, but rather he had a prescription for Adderall, which is a derivative of meth. I don't mean to get too descriptive here. Adderall's a pill. Is like a crystallized substance that apparently you're supposed to burn up in order to ingest. The two are not the same at all, but they're very similar in organic compound. I mean, for anyone that took organic chemistry, which yes, your boy did take organic chemistry in college, this is Adderall, this is meth. For those of you guys wondering what the difference is between the two, it's quite literally an additional methyl group on this N over here, which is why it's called. And it seems like they were already able to rule out whatever Damon Arnette was saying, because he was trying to hide this substance in his sock during a speeding stop. So police allege that former Raiders defensive back Damon Arnette attempted to conceal a pill filled with meth inside of his sock when he was arrested in Texas last month. Arnette, who denied the assertions through his attorneys on Monday night, was pulled over on January 6, 1:48 local time by police in Richardson, Texas for driving his 2021 Dodge Challenger 60 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone. Officers claimed that Arnette was unusually nervous and talkative and called for a dog sniffing unit. Arnette said that there were no substances or weapons in the vehicle, but the dog reportedly signaled otherwise. The search reportedly revealed a Glock 20 10mm pistol stashed beneath the passenger seat. And then a search of Arnette's body turned up what TMZ describes as a white and orange capsule with no markings inside of Arnette's left sock. Arnette reportedly told police that this was Adderall, which he had a prescription. Police said that inside of the pill was a white crystal-like substance that the test concluded was methamphetamine. And look, man, I understand that these are all allegations at the end of the day, but you can't blame me for having a tough time believing a guy that has been consistently making the wrong decision over and over and over again, has historically been arrested and on camera for doing really stupid things. And it's really just a shame because it's so hard to make it into the NFL as a 7th round pick. This dude convinced the Las Vegas Raiders that he was good enough to go in the 1st round, and he makes it onto the Las Vegas Raiders as a 1st round pick. The man was signed to a 4-year, $13.4 million contract as a rookie, and if he really worked on his craft and had his head on straight, he could have at least been a role player in the NFL. Like, don't get me wrong, Eli Apple didn't fulfill his potential as a 1st round cornerback either. He was selected 10th overall in the 2016 NFL draft, and you can meme him as much as you want for how terrible he is, but you gotta give the man credit. He's made over $24 million throughout his career. If you know how to invest that money wisely, you're set for life. You don't have to work anymore if you know how to invest that money wisely. Eli Apple's 28. Damon Arnette didn't take advantage of his incredibly fortunate situation that he worked all of his life to get to. And I think that's what makes this story so sad. He continues to make the wrong decision over and over and over again, and a lot of his arrests are derivatives of each other. It always has something to do with a weapon or some substance, and for some reason it has something to do with him driving with a suspended license or speeding. So at the end of the day, man, I really gave up on Damon Arnette. I obviously hope he gets it together, but I hope other individuals can use this story as a cautionary tale to not blow it once you get into a situation as fortunate as Damon Arnette was in. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this story, man. I think this might be the final Damon Arnette story we do on this channel. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.